Today is January 31st, 2026. Welcome to the weekend. And I see that today is National Scotch Tape Day, which feels like a celebration of problems being fixed just well enough. Welcome to This Day in History from, wait, that's random. I'm your host, C.L. Burns. On this day in 1759, the first U.S. life insurance company was chartered. 1759. Yes, insurance companies have been around for a very long time. This was the first life insurance company in the United States, turning death into something you could plan for. The risk became more of a calculation. Future loss treated like a spreadsheet problem almost. It was a comfort for some, but for others, the thought of it was unsettling. To put a price on your life if you ever passed away. It was insurance as a prediction, not as a prevention, much like auto insurance like we talked about yesterday. And it's interesting how money enters uncertainty. How we, like I said, how we put a price on someone's life before they death. What are you worth once you pass away? And that was, like I said, that was back in 1759. That is insane to think about how long that's been around. But another thing that's also kind of crazy to think about how long it's been around, in 1804, the first steam locomotive was patented. Early steam locomotives looked dangerous. I don't know if you've ever seen some of these early equipment that people manufactured back in the 1800s, but it's amazing that more people didn't lose limbs. It was loud, smoky. It was unpredictable. It didn't run very well. People even questioned the need for the speed of it. Horses were working just fine for everything that we needed. And there was no infrastructure yet. There weren't railways everywhere. But railroads, whatever, reshaped distance anyway. It completely changed how our nation was formed. People could all of a sudden move at greater speeds than they could ever think of, even though it felt unnecessary at first. And speaking of something that also felt unnecessary but ended up being very useful, was the first successful flight of the Concorde in 1969. It was supersonic passenger flight. You could, for the first time, as a regular passenger, fly faster than the speed of sound. It was a technological marvel. It was extremely expensive. And the noise was always problematic. It did end up being impractical. It was really too expensive to have widespread adoption. Not everything that seems to be a great idea tends to stick around. But when we put all this together, we've got planning for risk, faster movement, and then innovation outpacing usefulness, speed versus sustainability. And we look back at it, we keep pushing faster. Then we decide whether it's worth it or not. Sometimes the answer is no. Anyway, those are the things that I saw today. I'll keep looking around and see what I can find for tomorrow. If you want to know more about me or the work I do, you can find everything at waitthat'srandom.com. I'm C.L. Burns, and I appreciate you stopping by.